I never had my kid because of the evil stuff that's
carried over your head.
No, it's like
just how the evil in the world.
Yeah, so much evil, but even it's close to my kid. It's in his daddy, it's in his grandmother, it's in the people that
I think that's now why
clout. My baby is clouted out too. Like he got hella clout, bro. Like,
have you seen the trend now? Celebrities.
The internet didn't just whisper this story. It screamed it into existence like a fire alarm nobody could turn off. According to circulating claims, Chrisean Rock didn't just have a rough night. She allegedly got jumped in the streets while not fully sober. And somehow that's not even the scariest part. The real panic started when people realized Junior wasn't even with her when things went left. Suddenly, timelines didn't match, stories overlapped, and screenshots started popping up like receipts at a family cookout gone wrong. What made this explode wasn't just the alleged fight. It was who Junior was supposedly seen with afterward. Social media claims he was spotted alongside a figure rumored to carry a $33,000 street reputation. And instantly the internet lost its mind. That number alone sent people spiraling, because nothing with dollar signs attached ever sounds safe. The story grew faster than anyone could control it, and every retweet added gasoline. Fans weren't just watching anymore, they were panicking. Some were crying protection, others were pointing fingers, and a few were already calling this the darkest chapter yet. This didn't feel like entertainment anymore. It felt like a warning sign blinking red. And once you hear how this allegedly unfolded, you'll understand why nobody logged off. The internet didn't wake up looking for this story, but it found it anyway, loud, messy, and impossible to ignore. According to circulating claims, Chrisean Rock's night didn't spiral slowly. It allegedly collapsed all at once. One moment she's trending for her usual chaos, the next she's at the center of a street incident that set social media on fire. People weren't asking what happened, they were asking how bad it really was. And when timelines don't line up, the internet smells blood. Allegedly, this all unfolded during what fans describe as an already unstable period for Chrisean. Online observers had been questioning her behavior for days, saying she looked off, unfocused, and reckless. Nothing confirmed, just patterns people thought they recognized. That's how rumors start, quietly, before they scream. And once the word "hi" entered the conversation, things escalated instantly. According to unverified accounts, the confrontation wasn't dramatic at first, just tension bubbling in public. Voices raised, phones lifted, attention drawn. Then claims suggested turned physical fast, chaotic enough that nobody could fully explain it the same way twice. Some said it was sudden, others said it was brewing. The lack of clarity only made the story spread faster. The idea that Chrisean was allegedly jumped struck a nerve because it flipped the usual narrative. She's often portrayed as the aggressor, the loud one, the storm. But this time, online chatter painted her as overwhelmed and vulnerable. That shift confused people, and confusion fuels engagement. The internet loves a role reversal. As clips and screenshots began circulating, none showed the full picture, but all hinted at disorder. Blurry angles, cut videos, missing context. Everyone filled in gaps with assumptions. Supporters said she was targeted. Critics said consequences finally caught up. And in the middle of that noise, the focus suddenly shifted away from Chrisean entirely. That's when JR's name entered the storm. People weren't prepared for that turn, and that's why it hit harder. According to social media claims, while Chrisean was allegedly dealing with street chaos, Junior was seen elsewhere. Not with family, not with neutral supervision, but with someone the internet quickly labeled dangerous. Whether accurate or not, the label stuck immediately. The phrase $33,000 gang member exploded across timelines like it came from a police report. Even though it didn't, no documents, no confirmation, just repetition. And repetition online equals truth for a lot of people. That number alone made it feel cinematic, like a crime drama plot twist nobody wanted. Suddenly, this wasn't gossip. It was panic. Parents watching from home reacted first. Comment sections filled with fear disguised as outrage. People asked how a child could be anywhere near that environment. Others demanded accountability from anyone associated. A few tried to slow the narrative down, but fear doesn't wait for facts. Once the word gang hits a headline, logic usually exits. What made this more explosive was the absence of immediate clarification. No clear statement, no calm explanation, no timeline correction. Silence became fuel. People interpreted it as confirmation, confusion, or guilt, depending on which side they were on. Online silence never reads as neutral. It reads as suspicious. Meanwhile, supporters tried to redirect attention back to Chrisean's alleged condition that night. They argued that being jumped while high, if true, pointed to deeper issues: mental health, substance struggles, lack of support. Critics weren't moved. They said sympathy has been exhausted. That divide widened with every post. The story didn't just trend, it fractured into multiple versions. One narrative focused on Chrisean as a victim of circumstance. Another framed her as reckless and surrounded by danger of her own making. A third centered entirely on Junior, treating him as the real headline. Each version fought for dominance. Online.influencers and commentary pages jumped in fast because hesitation means irrelevance. Some spoke cautiously, others went straight for shock value. Dramatic thumbnails, bold captions, heavy implications. Each retelling added its own spice. Accuracy became optional, emotion became currency. As hours passed, alleged eyewitness accounts surfaced, each contradicting the last. One claimed Junior was never alone. Another insisted the sighting was misunderstood. A third doubled down with extra details that couldn't be verified. The more inconsistent the story became, the more people stayed hooked. What unsettled viewers most wasn't what was proven, but what felt plausible. Chrisean's history made the claims feel believable to some. Her unpredictability made people assume the worst. Fair or not, reputation shapes perception, and perception online moves faster than truth. By the end of the first wave, the damage was already visible. Chrisean's name trended with words like danger, reckless, and unfit. JR's name trended alongside fear. The alleged $33,000 figure became a symbol more than a person. Symbols don't need facts to be powerful. And just when people thought the story had peaked, it didn't slow down. It recalibrated. More reactions, more theories, more outrage. This wasn't a one-night scandal anymore. It was turning into a saga. By the time the second wave hit, the story wasn't just trending, it was evolving into something bigger and uglier. People stopped asking what actually happened and started arguing about what it symbolized. To some, this was another celebrity meltdown playing out in public. To others, it felt like watching a slow-motion crash everyone warned about, but nobody stopped. The internet doesn't do patience, it does escalation. Memes flooded timelines within hours, because humor is the internet's favorite weapon. One viral post compared the situation to a reality show episode so chaotic it got pulled mid-season. Another joked that the streets had officially become the most dangerous cast member. Laughing didn't mean people weren't worried. It meant they were uncomfortable. Jokes are how people process panic without admitting it. Commentary pages went into overdrive, each one trying to outdo the last. Some framed the story like a crime thriller, others like a cautionary tale. Every caption leaned heavier than the one before it, using words like dark, disturbing, and alarming. Nobody wanted to be the calm voice because calm doesn't get clicks. Shock pays better. Celebrities and influencers started reacting indirectly, dropping vague posts that fans immediately connected to the situation. Subtweets about responsibility, cryptic captions about protecting children, and emojis doing all the talking. No names were said, but everyone knew who it was about. Silence would have been safer, but even silence felt loud at that point. The alleged $33,000 figure became a character in the story rather than a person. People speculated wildly about what the number meant, attaching it to street rank, reputation, or rumored history. None of it was verified, but that didn't matter. The number sounded dangerous, so it was treated like a threat. Fear doesn't fact check. Public outrage reached a new level when parenting debates took over. Threads exploded with arguments about custody, supervision, and responsibility. Some blamed Chrisean entirely, others blamed the people around her. A few questioned why the internet suddenly cared now when chaos had been visible for years. Hypocrisy accusations flew in every direction. At the same time, defenders pushed back hard. They accused critics of exploiting a situation involving a child for clout. They reminded everyone that rumors don't equal truth. They pointed out how quickly the internet turns concern into condemnation. But their voices struggle to compete with outrage, because outrage is louder. Every new post added a twist, whether real or imagined. Someone claimed there was more footage coming. Another insisted the story was being intentionally distorted. A third alleged this was just the beginning of a much bigger revelation. None of it confirmed, all of it shared. The rumor mill doesn't sleep. The comparison culture kicked in next. People dragged up past scandals, lining them up like receipts in a trial nobody asked for. They compared this situation to other celebrity parenting controversies, saying this one felt worse. Worse sells. Worse sticks. Worse keeps people refreshing. As reactions grew harsher, sympathy started thinning out. Even longtime supporters admitted they were exhausted. Not angry, just tired. Not angry, just tired. Tired of defending, tired of explaining, tired of hoping things would stabilize. That emotional fatigue became part of the narrative itself. Brands and platforms were rumored to be watching closely. No announcements, just speculation that consequences might follow. In the influencer economy, reputation is currency, and controversy can bankrupt you overnight. People debated whether this would finally be the tipping point. Others said she'd survived worse. JR remained at the center of every argument, even though he wasn't speaking. People projected fear, blame, and hope onto him all at once. He became the reason people felt justified being angry. When children are involved, outrage feels righteous, even when it's messy. By now, the story had stopped being about one night. It became about patterns, cycles, and inevitability. Commentators use words like trajectory and downfall, as if this was already written. The internet loves to narrate endings before they happen. The louder the discourse got, the harder it became to separate concern from spectacle. People claimed they cared, but they also refreshed endlessly. Attention and empathy blurred into one thing. And that's when scandals become entertainment. As the second phase peaked, one thing was obvious. This situation wasn't cooling off, it was fermenting. Too many voices, too many theories, too much emotion. And when stories reach that stage, they don't resolve quietly. By the time the dust started pretending to settle, the damage had already taken shape. Not confirmed damage, not court stamp damage, but perception damage, which in the internet age hits harder and lasts longer. Names were now tied to fear, instability, and danger, whether fair or not. Once a narrative sticks, it doesn't ask permission to stay. It just moves in and rearranges the furniture. Chrisean's public image took another sharp turn, not because of one allegation, but because of accumulation. People weren't judging a single night anymore. They were judging a pattern they believed they'd been watching for years. Every past clip, every meltdown, every viral argument resurfaced like evidence. Context disappeared, and compilation took over. The internet loves a greatest hits downfall reel. Supporters tried to reframe the conversation toward healing and accountability. They argued that chaos doesn't cancel humanity and that public breakdowns don't equal permanent failure. But compassion struggles online when fear is louder. Sympathy posts were drowned out by warnings and think pieces. It's hard to preach patience in a panic. Relationships around Chrisean came under scrutiny next. Friends, associates, and anyone previously seen near her were suddenly suspects by association. People demanded to know who enables what and why nobody steps in. Silence from those circles became another talking point. Online, absence is interpreted as agreement or guilt. JR's presence continued to hover over everything like a storm cloud. Even without new information, concern stayed elevated. People debated whether he would be shielded from future chaos or pulled deeper into it. The child became the emotional anchor of the entire scandal. When fear attaches to a child, it doesn't let go easily. Speculation about consequences intensified. Viewers questioned whether this would affect appearances, partnerships, or access to platforms. In influencer culture, perception alone can freeze opportunities. Even rumors can make brands nervous. Nobody waits for truth when reputation is on the line. At the same time, a counter-narrative emerged claiming the situation was being weaponized. Some argued that Chrisean was being publicly punished without due process. They pointed out how often women in chaos are treated like cautionary tales instead of people. That argument sparked its own debate, equally heated and unresolved. The internet began to split not into two sides, but many. Those worried about Junior, those angry at Chrisean, those angry at the audience, those angry at everyone. The comment sections became battlegrounds of morality, with no referee and no rules. Every opinion felt justified to the person holding it. As days passed, the volume lowered slightly, but the tension didn't disappear. The story stopped trending loudly and started lingering quietly. That's often worse. Quiet scandals don't end. They resurface later with sharper teeth. People filed this away mentally, waiting for the next update. Chrisean's future moves became a point of obsession. Would she address it directly or avoid it completely? Would she lean into accountability or deflection? Every post, every absence, every caption was dissected. Online audiences don't watch content anymore. They watch behavior. Some fans hoped this moment would force change. Others predicted nothing would shift at all. Cynicism grows fast when people feel like they've seen this movie before. Redemption arcs are harder to believe when repetition dominates the plot. Trust erodes one headline at a time. What remained undeniable was the ripple effect. One alleged night turned into weeks of discourse. One rumor sparked conversations about safety, influence, and responsibility. The reach of celebrity chaos proved once again that nothing stays contained. When public lives unravel, the fallout spreads. The internet eventually moved its attention elsewhere, because it always does. Another scandal replaced this one in the algorithm, but the residue stayed behind. Names now carried heavier meanings. And once the internet labels you, it rarely forgets. This story didn't end with answers. It ended with uncertainty. No clean resolution, no official closure, just a lingering sense that something fundamental cracked. Viewers were left wondering what happens next, not just for headlines, but for real lives involved. Now, if you made it this far, don't pretend this story didn't grab you by the collar. This wasn't just another messy headline. This was one of those moments where the internet stops scrolling and starts arguing. Whether you believe the claims went too far or not far enough, one thing is clear. Nobody watched this unfold without feeling something. And when a story does that, it deserves a real conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't sugarcoat it. Do you think the internet crossed the line, or do you think the concern was justified? Was this another case of chaos being exploited, or a serious warning people shouldn't ignore? Say it loud, because the comment section is where the real debates happen, not in carefully worded captions. Hit that like button like it owes you money and try to disappear. Subscribe like you already know these scandals don't come with warning labels and they don't slow down. This channel stays locked in on celebrity chaos, viral breakdowns, and stories the internet can't stop talking about. If it's shaking timelines, it's landing here. And don't get it twisted, this isn't the last time you'll hear a story like this. New rumors, new receipts, new meltdowns drop every week, sometimes every day. If you want to stay ahead of the madness instead of catching it late, you already know what to do. So stay subscribed, stay vocal, and stay ready. Because when the next scandal hits and the internet goes into meltdown mode, you won't hear it secondhand. You'll hear it first. Welcome to Celeb Ruckus, where chaos never clocks.